Hi, leaders. Thanks so much for watching the last weekly Connect in February. We are going to finish up February by finishing up our study on King Solomon. So our study this week, the lesson is from 1 Kings 6:12 through 13, and then 7 through 11. So whether you're telling the story or not this week, go ahead and read that over so that you can listen to what God's going to have you prepare for the kids. Maybe you'll come up with some great activity that you'd rather do other than what we're doing in class, and you just want to be prepared to answer any of the kiddos' questions and have your heart and your head in the right place when you come in on Saturday night or Sunday morning. So go ahead and read that over. When you first come into the classroom, we are going to be doing a close-up partial picture activity. So I have printed off a whole bunch of pictures here. Some of them are fairly easy to figure out what they are, and then they get a little bit harder. But you'll have a cheat sheet at the end as well. So go ahead and show those to the kids. And what we're going to be, the lesson that we're trying to teach them is that when you look at just a small portion of something, when you just give just a small portion and not the whole big picture, it makes it a little bit more hard to see. And God wants our whole heart, just like He wanted King Solomon's whole heart. And we're wanting to emphasize that to the kids, that when you just give just a little bit of yourself, it's a little bit harder to see. But when you give the whole picture, it makes everything much, much easier. And then we'll just go right into story time. Our Connect question is, would you rather eat a whole pizza, a whole tub of ice cream, or a whole box of cookies? So we're going to be talking about giving the whole thing and how God wants our whole heart. You're going to learn about how King Solomon, when he first took reign, was very, very focused on God and did exactly as God would have, and his kingdom followed God. And they built a temple, and everything that he was doing was to be more like God-like or God-centered, and to concentrate on what God would have for him in his kingdom. Then as time progressed, he started drifting a little bit, and while he still knew who God was, he started not giving his whole self, not giving his whole heart, started allowing people and himself to have idols and start worshiping different things, and just became very displeasing to God. So our whole lesson this week is how we want to give our whole selves to God, just as King Solomon was expected to do as well. Then you'll go into the worship and the blessing. The blessing this week is from Luke 10:27. And Jesus answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. May you seek God with your whole heart, and may He make His love known to you." So that is going to be the blessing that you'll give to all of the kids before they go back to their classrooms. When you go back to your classrooms, you'll go over the reflect questions that are written out for you. And then after you're finished with your reflect questions, you will have some heart pictures. So you may have a heart picture kind of like this. You may have one that's like this in pink. You may have one in red. It's really very strategic for what's in your classroom. No, actually, I ran out of red paper, and then I didn't like my little hearts, so I made bigger hearts, but I couldn't throw out the other ones. So it's just a plethora of hearts. You'll have lots of different things in your classroom. And what you're going to have the kids do is talk about, once again, how God wants our whole heart. And we're going to write words or draw pictures of things that, of people, in the way God has showed their love to them, and how they've given their love back to God and showed Him their whole hearts throughout the week. So they can write something about what they want to be when they grow up, and how they could pray about maybe that's something that they want. Just talk about their families. Maybe they could draw pictures of their families. Just anything that is on their heart that they're thinking of first, and what's on their hearts, and what matters most to them. And that we want to, although we have different things that we think about all week, and we have studying to do and school and friends, we want to make sure that we give our whole heart and put God first. So that's what that little lesson is going to be about too. Then next, excuse me, kind of fighting a cold here. If you have time, you can do a little long jump activity, which is you just are going to put some tape on the floor and have the kids jump from the little piece of tape and see who can jump the furthest. So That's what that is. I'm not going to demonstrate that for you today because I would just end up coughing, and my kids are still in school, so I can't have them demonstrate either. But it's very self-explanatory. You're just going to talk about how God wanted Solomon to jump all in and give all of himself, and that would be a great demonstration for the kids. Plus, it gets out some of their wiggles and lets them get a little bit of exercise if that's something that you're interested in. So that's it. That's all I have this week. If you even have more time and the kids want to start on Bible work, next week we'll be moving on to Isaiah 43 and then Matthew 3. It's all about John the Baptist. So we're moving right along. And if you have any questions or need any prayers, just give your campus coordinator a call or call me and let me know, and we would love to pray for you. Thank you so much.